It was very moving, and I'm really glad that there's going to be a museum that really helps to bring that moment in time back.
An Omaha woman who lost her brother in the 9/11 attacks believes his memory will live on forever in New York City. A museum built to remember the 9/11 terror attacks is now open to victims' families. Good evening, I'm Craig DeGrelli.
And I'm Jennifer Griswold. The museum is underground in the space where the Twin Towers once stood. An honor guard of New York fire and police officials led the first visitors there. The museum features artifacts recovered in the rubble and the unidentified remains of those who died. President Obama spoke on the impact that day had on the nation.
No act of terror can match the strength or the character of our country. Like the great wall and bedrock that embrace us today, nothing can ever break us.
The museum will be open around the clock for family members and survivors for the next 6 days, and then it opens to the public.
One of the victims honored at that museum has family right here in Omaha. KMTV Action 3 News reporter Kim Foley joins us with a story you'll see only on 3. Kim.
Well, Craig, 30-year-old Lynn Castrianno was one of the thousands lost on 9/11. For the past decade, his sister has honored him here in Omaha. Tonight, his name, face, and story, part of the national memorial dedicated to that fateful day.
Hoping that Leonard had made it out. That's what I was hoping. And then as the day wore on and we didn't hear a word.
September 12th, 2001, the first time Action 3 News met Lynn Castrianno of Omaha.
I just want to hear about my brother, and I hope to hear that my brother is safe. One of the miracle stories.
That news about her brother, Leonard Castrianno, who worked on the 105th floor of the North Tower of the World Trade Center, never came. Almost 13 years later, Lynn remembers that period of silence.
I mean, the more days that went by that we didn't hear from him and we didn't get any notification from the medical examiner's office, it was that slow realization that he died.
For the past 10 years, Lynn has worked to make sure Leonard and all of the victims of 9/11 are memorialized. Nearly 3,000 flags go up at Memorial Park every September, each marked with a name and location.
It's very difficult doing that because it brings you back to that time frame.
Now Leonard and so many others will be remembered not just locally, but nationally. Today, the National September 11 Memorial Museum opened its doors for survivors, rescuers, and the families of those lost. The museum is filled with debris from the site, video from that day, and property of victims.
This is truly history, and it does deserve a museum to talk about that.
And to teach a new generation that was too young to remember that horrific day.
My daughter, she's 13 now, and she only knows this because we talk about it, we live it, we have it, but she doesn't really know about it. She wasn't there to experience it.
Castrianno says she's been to New York City a couple of times since 9/11 and hopes to get back there in the next few years to see the museum in person. In the News Center, Kim Foley, KMTV Action 3 News.